What's going on, everyone? In today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and go through all the must change settings you should enable or disable on your brand new Series Apple Watch. So this is for the Series 7, so if you just picked one up, congratulations, and here's a quick run through of everything there is to know that you should adjust on day one. Let's get started. So let's go ahead and quickly launch the app of our settings. Go in here. And here you're going to find a bunch of settings to adjust. The ones I recommend adjusting can be found first in your notifications. In notifications, scroll down where you see tap to show full notifications. I recommend leaving this on, especially since you have your always on display. This way, whenever you receive a message, nobody else around you is able to see it unless you actually lift up your wrist and tap on the display. Additional goodies you could find here is if you go back and go into general, inside the orientation, this is where you can actually change from the left wrist or your right. So if you messed up on accident during the setup process, you can actually go ahead and change this. And if you want, if you're not a fan where the digital crown is located, you can actually rotate this as well, as the entire screen will rotate to your preference. So go ahead and get comfortable. The pros of having the digital crown on this side, in case you bump into a wall, the digital crown is going to be perfectly fine. Now if you scroll down, you also will find nightstand mode. Highly recommend leaving this on, or I guess you could leave it off depending on your personal preference, but with this mode enabled, whenever you dock your Apple Watch on its charging puck, it'll display the time. Hint, nightstand mode. And fun fact, you could tap the little lightning bolt right here to see the exact percentage. Back to the setting app, handoff is a very helpful one to really utilize this when this mode is enabled. Whenever you're viewing a message on your iPhone or your Apple Watch, on your iPhone, let's say for example we're on messages right now on our Apple Watch, if you actually go into your multitask on your iPhone, you'll see the Apple, it'll tell you right here where your Apple Watch is at if you want to take off from where you last left off. So that's how you can really take advantage of this. This way, if you're typing up a message, you can just switch just like so. Now if you would like to take screenshots of your Apple Watch, just tap on screenshots, enable it by tapping the digital crown and the power button right here at the same time. It'll take a screenshot and will send it to your iPhone's camera roll just like so. And then just like your smartphone, you can always manage your storage right here, and it will tell you all the apps that's using up the most storage, and it's all colorized just like it is on your iPhone. So yes, you do have 32 gigs of internal storage with your Series 7. Moving back, in the focus tab, depending on the type of focus you want to have enabled, for example, my fitness ones, when this is enabled, when it says when starting a workout automatically, this will also toggle the focus on your iPhone. So messages and stuff like that will not disturb you with this mode enabled. If you don't like that, just go ahead and disable that, just like so. And if you go back, you notice that it mirrors all the focus modes that you have on your iPhone. If you don't like that, you can always just delete it. And then if you tap on like a certain focus mode, you can actually go in and actually edit this too. So if you add new, you could create like custom schedules for just the Apple Watch itself or delete it entirely. You have that freedom. But you can mirror or not mirror from your iPhone. Now for airplane mode, not on the Apple Watch itself, but if we quickly switch to the Watch app on our iPhone and you go into the airplane mode on here, you have the ability to actually mirror your iPhone. So whenever airplane mode is enabled on your Apple Watch, it will also enable it on your iPhone automatically. Personal preference, but you have that ability. But then on the Apple Watch itself, in this airplane mode, you could have it so it also includes Bluetooth if you want. And then in the Bluetooth, it just allows you to connect to a non-Apple Bluetooth device, so like third-party headphones. This is where you can actually search and pair this way as well. And then going back, display and brightness, obviously here's your brightness. Screen size, this is where you can actually adjust the text right here, and they show you a little example below it. You can also bold your text, and it will show you the preview right here. And then the always on display. Since our Series 7 comes equipped with LTPO hardware, it just means our always on display is always on. This is where you go ahead and enable this and disable this. Don't worry about turning this on off. At the end of the day, it'll still give the same, very similar battery life. So you're not really saving that much battery by turning it off. Now show complication data. This, when you enable this, now whenever always on display is turned on, and also you can see like the type of apps you could disable or enabled. But by default, with this mode enabled, when your always on display goes off, notice like your activity levels and stuff like that are blurred out, so other eyes can't really see your activity, only you can when you wake up your screen. Now going back, if you scroll all the way down, you can actually adjust the watch duration. The max, unfortunately, is only 70 seconds. Now this will definitely alter the battery life. In app view, this is where you can actually select list or grid view, but recently with WatchOS 8, if you actually go on the honeycomb page like so, you can actually long press and switch between those two, just like so as well, or enter app edit mode. So you don't have to go, no longer do you have to go into settings to do that. Now docks, this is kind of interesting. You have the option between recent or favorites. With recent, whenever you tap the power button once, it will open up App Switcher. And with favorites, on your iPhone, if you actually launch the actual app on your Apple Watch on your iPhone and tap docks and select favorites, here's the favorite ones you can add, so activity and stuff like that, or you can actually add some third-party ones by tapping edit. It's basically like bookmarking apps. Now if you like to add a feature like a grandfather clock or a church or something, you know how those type of clocks typically on the hour, they always give like a haptic feedback like bells, birds. You could actually enable chimes, which you can find in the accessibility tab. If you scroll down to chimes, right in here you can enable chimes, and you can select it if you want it every hour, 30 minutes, or 15 minutes. Traditionally it's every hour. That's the traditional way. And you can have the choice and options between bells and birds. By tapping on it, it will actually play like a little preview, and if your device is on silent, it will give you like a haptic feedback. So if it's like 1 o'clock, haptic feedback, 2 o'clock, haptic feedback, and if your device is on mute, it will play whatever sound you selected. It's nifty. I personally love it because it allows me to stay on track on the current time. This way time doesn't fly by. Other additional goodies you can find in the accessibility, if you scroll down, you can actually enable on and off labels. You see like little zeros, O's, and I's, on and off labels. Siri, in Siri, hey for Siri, or raise to speak. I like using the raise to speak whenever this is enabled. Whenever you raise your Apple Watch to your face, you can literally speak whatever you want to tell Siri, and Siri will automatically listen and give you the answer. Now if you have Apple Pay on your device, you know passcode is required. And if you're tired of putting on your Apple Watch and forgetting to unlock it throughout the day, there's a way that your iPhone could unlock it, because the likelihood of you putting on your Apple Watch and unlocking your phone is very likely. If you want to go ahead and enable this function on your main device on your iPhone, go into passcode, enter the PIN code, and just enabled unlock with iPhone, and there you go. And in addition to that, if you're wearing a face mask and you want your Apple Watch to be able to unlock your device, you can also do that as well. If you go on your main device iPhone settings, scroll into passcode and Face ID, enter your PIN, scroll down where you see unlock with Apple Watch, select the Apple Watch you like, and now whenever you unlock your iPhone with your face mask unlock, as long as your Apple Watch is nearby, it'll bypass it and unlock your device. And if somebody snatches your phone and manage to unlock your device with their face mask, you can manually lock it on your Apple Watch, and you can do the exact same thing on your iPhone too, and lock your Apple Watch in case it gets on the wrong wrist. Now, a safety feature all Apple Watches, well, modern day Apple Watches have, is the fall detection. Unfortunately, this is disabled by default unless you're at a certain age. I'll link it. There's the age right there. I forgot it right now as the time making this video. But you can find this in SOS. In fall detection, this is where you go in and enable that. Now, medical ID, you can also include your medical ID, and you can set that up in the health app on your iPhone. And by default, you should be able to have hold side buttons for SOS. When this is enabled, whenever you hold the power button and you continue holding, it plays a loud beeping noise. And you also have the slider right here for your SOS. That's how you go ahead and enable that and adjust it if you like. Now going back in battery tab, here you're not only can you see the graph of your battery life throughout the entire day, as well as the last time it was charged, but you can also see the battery health. But below here is power reserve. This is where you can actually go in and enable this to reserve your battery of your Apple Watch, and I heard it could last up to 1 whole week. Another way you could enable this is inside Control Center, tap the battery life percentage, and there it is right here. You can slide it to enter battery reserve mode this way as well. And a fun little bonus, if you scroll all the way up to the settings, you can actually tap on your Apple ID and manage your subscription. So if there's a subscription you want to unsubscribe to, like Netflix or something because you're not using it, you actually can monitor all that right here, which I thought was really cool and interesting. Now, Mindful did get an update. This technically is the Breathe reminder. If you don't like the notifications constantly coming up, if you scroll all the way down and tap on the Mindful app, here is where you can actually go ahead and disable those reminders or create a reminder if you like. So if you need time to meditate, you can always enable it or disable it from here. Another cool setting to definitely enabled is the noise detection monitoring. So this mode enabled. Basically, this allows the Apple Watch to constantly monitor the decibel levels around you. If it knows you're inside a room that's very loud for a long duration that is known to cause hearing damage long term, your Apple Watch will monitor that and notify you and let you know that you should let your ears relax. Because if you continue being exposed to this may cause some serious damage. So it's nice. This is where you go ahead and enable this to have that nice health feature. Now, if you are using your Apple Watch for sleep tracking, which you could go ahead and set up by tapping on the sleep tracking app, the process is extremely easy. But in the setting tab, you do have to have additional settings. And one of the important settings I definitely recommend to adjust is the charge reminder. This is where you go ahead and disable this. What charge reminder basically does, like 30 minutes before you're about to go to sleep during the schedule that you set on your Apple Watch, it'll send you a notification letting you know that you need to charge it to make it throughout the entire night. So this is where you go ahead and enable this or disable this if you don't like this reminder. I personally don't like it, which is why I'm showing you this in case you're just like me. Now, if you're just like me who always constantly use the workout app, a new feature that's enabled by default is the voice. So whenever you reach a mile or reach a certain pace or a goal of some kind during the workout activity you selected, the Apple Watch will verbally congratulate you or just let you know that you reached a mile of your jog or run or whatever. If you don't like this, you could go into the workout tab, scroll all the way down to voice feedback, and this is where you go ahead and adjust that and just turn it off. You can also change the metrics here as well if you like to use different units for measuring. Gym equipment, leave that on. Pause, auto pause, and workout reminders, start reminders. I definitely recommend leaving start workout reminders. This will basically allow the Apple Watch to be able to use the auto workout detection feature. So if you're doing some type of motion like the elliptical for a long duration, it will actually credit you the time in case you forgot to start your workout. So the Apple Watch will notify you and credit you that time and continue tracking. And if you scroll on top, you can also find the auto pause. Leave this on, and then you can select the type of workouts you wanted to pause and stuff like that. So if you're running outdoors, as a fine example, and you take a break, it will pause your workout and will automatically resume back once the watch notices that you're running again. Another app that has a interesting setting or feature nearly forgot can be found in the calculator app. Here you can actually switch between percentage or tip fraction. So if you're splitting a tip with a group of friends, you could enable this, and now the calculator app actually has the split section right here, even though you have a calculator to begin with. But I guess this summarizes things a lot more to make things more efficient. And there we go, just like that. Now you know every necessary setting to adjust to really personalize your device, but also unlock some of its potential hidden features, like the unlock with your iPhone type of thing. Now, if you got some good useful information out of this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could actually leave this video a like, as those help me out a lot, and get subscribed, especially if you enjoy a lot of tech videos just like this. Stay tuned because I have an upcoming special video coming out for the new generation Apple Watch, comparing it against some older models to give you a real general idea if it's even worth considering upgrading to the Series 7. Hopefully I don't give you any regrets from upgrading though. Now, if you're curious what type of accessories I have on my Apple Watch, like charging dock and all that good stuff, I covered all that in this video over here. And then the video next to that one, that's just some more additional stuff, hidden features and tips and tricks you can find on the latest firmware update of watchOS 8. Thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.